Thank you so much. And guys, I met Mike when I was 18 years old. He's one of my original mentors, and he's one of the big reasons why I've had lots of successes. So thank you, Mike, for the intro. Guys, I'm Nick Sarnicola. I'm from Michigan, but I live here in Miami. I'm a dad of two and an entrepreneur for a couple decades. And the last company that I built very successfully that Mike was referencing, I'm going to transition it into this particular company because there's a relationship that triggered this idea that was a very supportive mentor of mine. Towards the tail end of our 15-year run, I made a friendship with a gentleman by the name of Terry LaCour, who's the CEO of LaCour Enterprises. And he has an ecosystem of companies that provides services to 150 other companies. One of them was my company. So he helped us with merchant processing. He helped us with third-party logistics. He helped us with a myriad of different things. And eventually, we ended up taking our company and putting it together with one of his biggest companies. And that still exists today, doing over 9 figures a year in sales. And, I kind of stepped back about 5 years ago. So we're going to talk about how that relationship turned into the Shoply conversation tonight. And I want to start by saying this is a high level conversation. This is not the conversation that we want open to the world. You are here because you've already been successful. So there's a common thread amongst all of you is you've already been successful. So because of that, I'm going to have again a higher level dialogue about our business model. But it's important to know this is not our normal conversation we have out in the street. It's not our little 5 minute, a snapshot. Like this is big kid talk, if you will. You are a person of influence. That's why you're here. Okay. About a year and a half ago, that same individual, Terry LaCour, he called me and said, "Hey, I've got an idea. It's going to be the hardest thing to execute, but it's the biggest idea that, I think Terry, have ever come up with. There's a gentleman by the name of Rod Larson. He's already quarterbacking the idea, and I want to bring you guys together. And I want you guys, as well as a third partner here about in a moment, I want to bring you guys all together, and I want you to take this idea from my head and out there to the world." And he put an asterisk, and the asterisk was, just understand, this will be the biggest lift or the most difficult creation that any of us or any of you have ever participated in. And the reason why is nobody's ever done what it is that we're doing currently. And about 10 months ago, we started, and we ran into a couple things. One was a lot of people who got the vision, who understood it, who were excited and fell in love with it immediately. Number two is we understood the difficulty of the task at hand. And for the last 10 months, we have been in beta trying to figure out how do we take this idea and scale it to the world at epic speed. And we believe now with Shoply 3.0 and some of our integrations that we are ready to go, and we are ready to go fast. And we're looking for people of leadership, business acumen, direct sales background, social media influencing background, etc., to be on the forefront and the taking out to the market. So you'll see that we have a bit of a tag word here that says decentralized commerce. Well, what do we mean by that? We believe commerce is centralized. And we don't mean from a blockchain or crypto perspective. We just mean there's a few powers that kind of oversee everything. And who are those powers? Well, Facebook ads, Google AdWords, Walmart, Alibaba, and obviously the king, which is Amazon, right? Like these companies dominate commerce, and they control small business, and they control the flow of eyeballs. And we said, well, what if we could create a marketplace where we brought the power back to business owners of physical products, digital products. We had people that were great at business development that knew those business owners, and they could bring it to this other side here of team builders, social media influencers, or just plain old customer rewards members. So we have an ecosystem where there's 4 different ways that you could make a 6 or 7 figure per year income if you were the top of the top or the best of the best. Not one way, but 4 different ways that you could do that, which makes this the most intriguing business vehicle out there in the world today. So I'm going to start by kind of centering us into a subset of e-commerce, which is social commerce. Everybody knows what e-commerce is. What is social commerce? It is the usage of your personal profile to sell something. Anytime you go into your personal profile and you post something, and there's a link and somebody can buy it and you get paid, that is called social commerce. Social commerce is going to be $1 trillion industry this year, and it will be the fastest industry in the world ever to $1 trillion. That is just insane when you process that. What piece of it that you and your family, are going to get, are going to have, because it's real and it's massive. In fact, here's the data that I'm giving all of you is from a company called Accenture. And if you guys know Accenture, Accenture is one of the largest, business consulting firm in the world. They're $250 billion company. And what Accenture says is they say, okay, here is a social commerce ecosystem. They said there's users on all kinds of different platforms. And if those users somehow through influencers, creators, or resellers get brought to small brands, usually on a platform, AKA Amazon, well, that is a social commerce ecosystem. Well, guys, we are a platform that's doing exactly this. So when I saw this diagram, from Accenture, I realized, holy cow, we're right in alignment with what the largest, business consulting firm in the world has already validated, which was, pretty exciting, when you guys think about it. So when you look at social commerce as an ecosystem, there's an announcement that happened last year that validates all of it for all of us, which is Amazon, which is now a $2.5 trillion company. They did a partnership with TikTok because there's a shift from e-commerce, Amazon, to social commerce, individual people using their personal brand to make sales, to a subset of that, which is called live commerce. And what does TikTok do with TikTok Shop? They do live commerce. And Amazon said, hey, we'll never beat you, TikTok. We'll just be your back end. So here's what live commerce can do. Stormy Steele did $1 million in sales in one day. Zhang Zhang did 14 million in a week. And Li Zhang did $1.7 billion in sales off his cell phone. It was actually off his computer in a 12-hour live stream. Some of you guys have done a lot of sales. I know for me, I did a $2 billion sales run in my last company. I thought I was the man. And then I saw what this gentleman has done. 1.7 billion in a day. There's nobody in a lot of industries, specifically direct sales, that can compete with 1.7 billion in a day. The world is changing and the world is shifting in a big way. So here's what we've done. We've went and created a full integration with Shopify because we realized Shopify has everything that we want from a technical perspective. So for the first 10 months, we were trying to do a lot of the technical pieces ourselves. And we realized all we need to do is have a full integration with Shopify, who is, if you guys aren't familiar, they've got 5 million stores and growing in 175 countries, translated to 20 languages. So if you're asking yourself, well, how are you guys going to launch a marketplace and go get all of these stores? The answer is they're already on Shopify. And if they're not, they can be. So what we're looking to do is we're looking to augment the services of Shopify. Shopify, they help you build a store, aka a website. They give you different payment options, and they give you merchant tools and backend management. What do? We do brand exposure and traffic, customer conversion, and affiliate sales force. So we are marketing and sales for what is a tech company called Shopify. That's the distinction between the two of us. So if there's a question of, are these guys going to be able to get the technology global and payment systems global and languages global and the answer is we don't have to, because our full integration is to a company that's one of the biggest in the world at e-commerce. So here's briefly our opportunity for a store, a merchant, or a vendor, right? Same term. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to give a store owner huge brand exposure, meaning for free, we will have hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people making posts, sharing videos, and driving traffic to the stores of what was a Shopify owner, which will then be on our marketplace on Shoplee. So exposure. How many of you guys know a small business owner that maybe has a Shopify website that would love the exposure of 100 affiliates or 20 influencers or 1,000 in a new country? So number two is it allows that store owner to expand their sales force by leveraging our existing affiliates and influencers. Number three is it gives them a predictable cost of acquisition. Here's why. A store owner does not pay us until after we make a transaction. So if you owned a business and I said you can go put $1,000 a week into Facebook ads and hope you convert, or we'll go get you a customer and you pay us after we convert, which one sounds better? And then lastly, we have a software that any brand that wants to actually launch their own affiliate channel to their own customer base, they can leverage our software for that. Extremely unique. Okay, let's move forward. Let's talk about the opportunity for an influencer, because remember, we're an ecosystem. So we've talked about a store. Let's talk about an influencer. What does an influencer want? A social media influencer wants tens of thousands of different products to choose from on one platform. They don't want to sign up in 20 different companies where they got to track all that, and they got to track all their commissions and figure it all out. They want to go to one platform. By the way, they don't want to sell just one product or one brand. They don't want to sell just one brand. They don't want to be limited. They don't want to have the handcuffs on them. And also they want to have as much of the incentive as they can. But we offer 100% incentive from whatever our vendor's willing to pay. So I'll give you guys a for example. This is one of our vendors. Our vendor decides how much they're willing to pay, and that direct bonus goes 100% to the influencer, and they'll also pay a separate percentage to the team builders working with that influencer. And then lastly, an influencer is tired of being copied by other influencers. What happens now is an influencer, they go to a company, they sign up as an affiliate or whatever, they go make all this content, funny jokes, videos, humor, thought out stuff. It starts working, they start making money, and everyone who's watching them and following goes to that same company and it eats into their market share. What we do is we offer an influencer a way to create all their content and make money, but also to teach other influencers how to do it. And our brands will pay them to do that as well. Okay, let's keep it rolling. Important to know that we're not looking for mega influencers. We're not looking for celebrity influencers. We work with nano influencers. So I have a question for all of you guys right now. On your biggest social media profile, how many followers do you have? If you have 1,000 to 10,000 followers, you are classified in the world of social media as a nano influencer. Nano influencers are the best because they have the highest engagement, they're the most authentic, and they usually have a niche that people follow them for. And for the other side of this is a person who is not an influencer at all, we will teach them how to build a personal brand to become a nano influencer. So I think there's two important facts that I want to share with you guys as well. Did you know the #1 career choice of a high school kid today, graduating high school, is not doctor, not lawyer, not actor, it's influencer? And did you know the #1 stay-at-home gig, side gig, the #1 gig that a stay-at-home mom wants is influencer. So this is why we're in that space. Now, gang, what will happen? Our marketplace will not be live until October 15th. But on October 15th, the marketplace will be live. There'll be products, there'll be companies, there'll be stores. And you as an influencer, you as an affiliate, you'll click on it, or your people who want to sell items, they'll click on it. And when they click on it, they're going to see a product that's going to have two things. #1 is a commission, and #2 is sharing tools that are attributed to each individual person. So an individual mom could log in, they could go to the Fresh Face Kit, they could share it to different places they want to share it. She could sell 30 of them and make $500 for her $12, direct bonus on each. A way to look at this closer is, here's the picture of the rewards zoomed in. This is us just clicking on the Facebook button, and here it goes right into a post. And this would, if anyone that clicked that, it'd go right back to the store, but attributed to the individual who actually made that post. So these are things that are already in place and already created, okay? Let me give you guys the next piece of the ecosystem, which is customer rewards. So if you're following, we're going to bring in store owners, thousands of them. They're already on Shopify. We don't have to do the hard part. We're just going to, boom, have a store owner click a button, and they're going to import their store into our marketplace. We got influencers and affiliates that are going to go get customers. But check out what we're doing with our customer rewards program. For those of you guys that have direct selling background, pay very close attention to this. We noticed that there's 3 different really large reward models out there. There's cashback models, there's network marketing models, and then there's membership-based models. So what we do is we position ourselves right in the middle. This is an eyesore for people that don't like charts, but there are people that do. Here are your top 3 cashback companies: Rakuten, Ibotta, Citibank, your credit card, right? Here's your top 3 membership companies. And then here's your top 3 buy products from yourself companies. You know, like buy the essentials and get paid for buying them from yourself. As you guys can see here, the average cash rewards from your top rewards companies don't compare at all to what we're doing. Number 2 is Costco, Sam's Club, and on Amazon, you're paying memberships, which for certain licenses with us, you will as well. So that's comparable, but there is no cash rewards, right? You're just getting, discounts. And with Amazon, you're getting free shipping. Here's an interesting one. There is no brand variety. Excuse me. There is brand variety here and here, but there's no brand variety. Like, if you want to buy Amway and you don't like the brand of toothpaste, that's the end of it, right? But with what we're doing, there might be 30 different companies that sell cleaning supplies in each different country. In each different country. So a customer can go there and get the highest cashback rewards. And if they want, they eventually can refer other customers. I mean, look at guys, our side of this versus everybody else. Nobody does everything that we're doing with their customer rewards model. I'll keep this simple. How many of you would love to just have 3,000 people all over the world buying from themselves, getting cashback rewards, which are tax-free because it's a cash rebate, and you're getting an override on all of those purchases, and they're buying brands that are localized to their country and their language and their culture. This is a game changer. So here's the last part. This is for those of you guys who are team builders. So we've got an opportunity for store owners. We got an opportunity for influencers. We got an opportunity for cash rewards. And we got an opportunity for people that do business development because they can bring on the stores. But here is a very hard truth. It's data. It's not me being, what do you call it? A person that's a pessimist. It's just data. That's called business. For 5 years straight, the direct sales industry has plummeted. I get it. A bunch of people left this company and went to that company, so that company's growing. And a bunch of other people left that company, went to that company, so that company's growing. The industry is plummeting. Somebody smart out there, ask yourself why. And the reason why is 2 answers: the gig economy and social media influencers. If you're a dad and you need to make a second income, why would you try to build a huge team of 200 people to make $2,000 a month when you can just go drive Uber and control your own hours? It's too hard to compete. If you're a stay-at-home mom that wants to make an extra $1,500 a month, $2,000 for the household, why would you try to build a team of 50 to sell, let's say makeup, when you could just sell 50 packages of that makeup yourself through social media? If you don't believe me, just look at all the companies that used to be $1 billion in sales that eliminated their entire MLM channel, completely gone. We got to ask ourselves why. So second part, which is super positive, is as a team builder, you found a platform of purposes. What's your purpose? How many times have you built a company that didn't match your purpose? Well, now you can curate stores that are already there that you love, that match your purpose, or you can recruit your own stores that sell products that line up perfectly with your brand and your purpose. Last thing is, this is a global business model. About, I think 5 years ago, social media had exploded to a point it never had before. And 6 degrees of separation, you know, we're 6 degrees apart from everyone we know. That reduced to 2.8. That's a real number. We are now 2.8 degrees of separation from everybody in the world. And those connections, if you're building a traditional direct sales company, those connections are global, but you can only build your business where your products ship. So your products only ship to these 5 countries. You and everyone in those 5 countries know people all around the world. You're frustrated because you can't talk to all those people around the world. So here's what happened. There became a big shift of big team builders saying, I want to build something globally. Therefore, I'm going to join a Forex software because I can sell it globally. There's now 1,000 of those. Or I'm going to join a travel deal, which no travel company in the history of the world has made it. They've all gone out of business or been shut down by the government. Or some sort of crypto deal with multi-tiers. When you start adding crypto with multi-tiers, you're getting into very dangerous land, right? Again, I don't think these people are bad people. They're looking for a solution to build something globally. You can build Shoply globally. You're going to build a team in Argentina, and your leaders there are going to find vendors or store owners that they want to sell for in Argentina. And it's going to ship from Argentina to Argentina. So you don't have to worry about the borders and all that other stuff. It's already been thought out and it's already done. So I'm going to do a recap here in a second. I realized I was going so fast that I blew through bringing on a couple people on the way. So what I want to do briefly here is I want to bring on first our CEO. And I want him to kind of speak about anything that's on his heart, why he was the first guy here, what he sees with what we're doing with Shoply. And then, guys, I'm going to talk a little bit more about just a recap, introduce you to 2 more people briefly for a couple minutes, and then we'll be done. So my business partner in arms, my brother, the guy that is great, thankfully, the complete opposite of me and skill set and the way his brain works. You know, he's a tremendous operator, 30 years in operations, entrepreneurship, tech, and running companies, and most of it in the direct sales industry. So Rod Larson, over to you.
Hey, thank you, Nick. Really a pleasure to be here with everyone. Appreciate those of you that have joined us whose names I don't even know and won't even see. I just want to say thank you for spending your time with us. To give you a quick shot, that's what's on my mind, knowing that we would like to keep this discussion very efficient for you and timely. I think, as all of us have seen in the industry, during the proliferation of the industry, let's say from the 90s and into the 2000s and now into the 2020 and beyond, what you have happened is, as we know, is that there's a huge growth in a company, leadership within the company, both on the corporate side and the field splits off to go do it again. Things just fracture and then fracture and fracture into smaller and smaller pieces. Over the last 10 years or so, roughly the number of direct sales companies has been stable and has not increased as a whole year over year. But major companies, as Nick alluded to, are closing down or changing their way they do things. But it's very difficult because of legacy compensation and legacy leadership. But when those choices get made, or the economy within the industry that we've been around for so long adjusts because it must, then you have to be really prepared and forward thinking on it. Otherwise, it's very difficult. So if you're running your own brands, doing all that, it's so inefficient as a distribution model. And if we round it down to what we do best in our industry, it's connecting people. And so that's the thing that I love most about what we do at Shoply. It's about taking anyone you talk to and having them perhaps be a Rewards Plus member, huge benefit for them there, all the way from an affiliate manager to somebody actually building a big team and going forward, and also bringing vendors on. So huge crowdsourcing situation, Nick, that I think resonates with everybody on the Zoom. And I thank you for the time. Really happy to be with you. And thank you each again for joining us.
Brother, thank you for leading the way. And again, grateful to be working with you. I'm going to bring back on Mike Craig really quickly, and also Stacy Vasilovich, 2 of our top team builders. You guys share what you guys like the most. Mike, jump right to Stacy. I'll kick it over to you.
So, you know, one of the things I like the most is the flexibility and freedom to do things that we couldn't do 5 years ago. We couldn't do 10 years ago. And quite honestly, most of us probably didn't have the capital if we wanted to go this direction to take on something like this. It's a massive undertaking to do something like this. So to be able to be a part of it, it's exciting because I don't like, quite honestly, having to do all the things that I don't like doing. I'd rather focus my efforts on the things that I do like doing, and rest assured knowing that the rest of the things on the backside is being handled. And it's unique, it's different, it's refreshing, it's never been done before. So it's a challenge, and I tend to like the challenge as well because I usually know, a risk versus reward. And sometimes when you follow suit and do things that everyone else is doing, sometimes that just gets washed away. So I like being, ahead of the curve, doing something unique, something different, something fun, that potentially could be a legacy style business, which I absolutely believe this can be. So it's very exciting times.
There's a, kind of a checklist that I have for getting involved with anything, whether it's an investment, whether it's an endeavor, whether it's a business. And, from a very micro view, can I see myself doing this, right? Or can I see myself utilizing this in my everyday life? And that has to be kind of the first point for me as a mom in this business is, okay, yeah, I can see myself ordering. Yes, I absolutely would love rewards. Whether that becomes like girl math and money that I keep for myself because I paid for the product and then I get my rebate back. And now, I get to use that money and it's essentially for free, right? We've all heard the girl math before. Well, that's a micro view of this. And from that standpoint, Shoply checks all those boxes. And then you continue to zoom out, right? You zoom out to, is this solving the things in the world that are a problem? Yes. Is it solving things in the industry that are an issue? Yes. And the further out you go, is it continuing to check those boxes? And it does. The further out you zoom, you really see that giant picture of all the things that are missing in the different industries that we're touching into. And when you can find those holes and plug those up, what that translates to us as team builders is a massive opportunity for us to, one, make an impact, two, make a giant income, and three, have something that sustains for more than just a flash in the pan. Because the energy that you're going to put into the time, the network that you're going to use, you want this to be something that can sustain into the future. And that's really why I planted my flag here and why I believe Shoply is going to be that vision into the future. So back to you, Nick.
So guys, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wrap up. Let me show you guys a summary because, we went big picture. Let's summarize. Okay, we've got a handful of different licenses. Okay, these licenses are ranging from $1 to like a customer rewards plus minus $1, an affiliates $1 to an influencer pro, which is $800. So they range $1 to $800, right? An influencer pro can do everything in the business. They can access every reward and they can do everything. So for the sake of this example, I want to show you guys how simple this is. An influencer pro goes out there, and I'm going to use, for whatever reason, I always like to write. Hang on one second. I'm going to hit this. Okay. An influencer pro, they refer a Shopify store. It's not hard to find them. There's 5 million of them. You can literally reverse engineer it on through Google, and you can find every store. That store then onboards. Okay. So that, just click a few times if you will. Thank you. Excuse me. That store downloads our Shoply app, and then they onboard. Okay. So they're going to get a link to download the Shoply app. They onboard. They will be then in our marketplace within 15 minutes to an hour. We're going to suck in their entire Shopify store, all their products, everything. We're going to bring it in. So guys, think about this, how clean this is. A Shopify store owner downloads the app. They pay $1. They start onboarding. They pop up in our marketplace. Our promoters start to post and share, driving exposure, and then eventually getting a customer. This is how simple what we do is, despite the deep explanation. Influence Pro gets a store gets the app, they end up in our marketplace, we start sharing the stuff, everybody gets paid. The second part of this is multiplication. Okay, so from a multiplication perspective, let me go ahead and erase that. There's 3 different license types that can build a team. They can recruit, they can develop, they can get overrides. Well, what they're going to do is they're going to get customers. They are going to get affiliates who get customers, and they're going to get other team builders. And that's simply how everything multiplies. So, guys, we've built a company here where if you have something to sell and you're a great store owner, great, we want to sell it. If you're a great team builder, you want to build globally, and you want to maximize the stuff we talked about, great, this is the place. If you're an influencer who wants to lead other influencers and you need a platform, this is the spot. If you're great at business development and you just want to bring on 100 store owners and take a little piece of all of them, this is your spot. There's so much flexibility, so much uniqueness. And if you just want to go get a bunch of customer rewards members who are getting cash back off brands they recognize with lots of competition, have a simple model, this is the spot. So here's your next steps. You can jump past this, please. From a next steps perspective, here's our timeline. We just got done with an event in Miami Saturday, rolling out all this information. This is the first overview we've had. This is the first snapshot, okay? August 1st, we're going to turn on an invitation system. You can start to pre-invite as many business people that you want to lock in a spot with us. On September 3rd, we will go live and everybody can enroll. On September 15th, vendors can start to enroll. On October 15th, we will have the marketplace live. So right now, there's nothing for you to purchase. There's nothing for you to acquire. There's nothing for you to do except start sharing this idea like crazy. And August 1st, you're going to get your own invitation system so that those people are locked to you. Guys, on Saturday, we're going to do a 12 p.m. Central Time. Everything's always in Central for us. 12 p.m. Central right here. Bring back people that understand business, people that understand money, people that understand the network effect. We're going to have a higher level conversation like we did tonight. Not the simple one, not the short one, the big kid talk. Bring your best 3 business builders that you know to come learn about this, because on August 1st, when the invitation system goes live, this is going to go viral and it's going to go fast. And September, when we start enrolling people, it's going to go even faster. And income, if you're wondering, income will start flowing on your first enrollments are September 3rd. So the week after that, right? So you got a window here of how much are we pre-building, et cetera. So my closing thoughts is I just want to say thank you. You can pull a slide down. Oh, here's our Telegram group. If you want every update, here's our Telegram group. If you want every update. My closing thoughts are this. Between our CEO, our CVO, myself, and our chairman, collectively, we have done over $10 billion in sales in different companies. We have come together to build something like nothing before, and it's difficult, and it's taken us 10 months to get to the point where we're ready to go crazy with it. To be able to partner with a 9-figure company, a 12-figure company from an integration perspective, extremely rare opportunity. Understand what sits in front of you. Don't sleep on this. Don't let this one jump past you. Get positioned, get engaged. Let's go to work. Let's do something great. And I can't wait to work with you guys all over the world. Thank you so much for your time tonight. Welcome to Shapley 3.0.